The last round of last round of
Welcome to the Last Roundup Horror Show. I'm Frank. Over here we have Jason Miller coming at you. Let's kick into my films. This is all movies I picked. It's all my fault.
Everybody knows that. They know what's your picks and what's my picks.
Let's start it off with Street Trash from 1987, a.k.a. The Trash of Streets, Drain Body, Horror in Bowery Street, Street Boy, or Violence in Manhattan. Summary for this film: a liquor store owner sells alcoholic beverages to homeless people, unaware of what the bottles actually contain. Toxic brew. Directed by James M. Murrow, who actually has some pretty solid cinematography credits. I can't remember what they were at the time, but it's written by Roy Frumkes, who also wrote the film The Substitute, if you remember that one. Go ahead. What do you have?
I don't know if this is recording or not.
Is the red light on?
There's a red light, yep.
Is the one down here?
Nope.
Oh, hit the record button. Yeah. You probably haven't said nothing yet, really, have you?
I may have stopped it.
No, it's going now. It's going now. We're recording, guys. This is a podcast, professional. But now it's your time to talk anyways. So,
I think I shut it off to begin with. I pressed the record button once before I told you. I didn't think it was recording, so
real pro. We're pros.
Tagline: Things in New York are about to go down the toilet. Distributed by Lightning Pictures. Released on Blu-ray through Synapse in 2013.
Yeah, and I think that I'm gonna probably buy that. I think
you got to upgrade.
I don't own this.
Oh.
No, I would like to own it. This belongs on my.
That kind of shocks me.
Cast highlight: Pat Ryan plays the slimy junkyard owner Frank Schneiser in this film, but you may remember him from The Toxic Avenger. He was the corrupt mayor in The Toxic Avenger. He was also in the movie Eat and Run. Do you remember that?
No.
It's about this big fat guy that's a cannibal.
Is it Trauma?
He's an alien. No. He's got. Have you ever seen the bald guy? He's a big fat bald guy with sharp teeth. I don't know. Eat and Run. Check it out. He's that guy.
Okay.
I love the shitty world that they've created for this movie. It isn't Tromaville, but it might as well be. The only thing it's missing is huge barrels of chemical toxic warfare waste all over the place. The Asian secretary in this film, I kept thinking, that woman looks like Fred Armisen. I'm going to put a picture up. You guys tell me in the comments section if I'm correct. When people melt in this movie, I love it. It's such a creative effects design. The colors pop. I
was trying to think if this was better than
Body Melt,
but I couldn't even remember what it looks like. I couldn't even pull it up.
That's a hard one for me, man. I think I like them both about the same. I liked Body Melt. Did you? You didn't like Body Melt, did you?
Not very well.
I don't know. That's something to look back on.
I would give it. I would rewatch that one.
Yeah.
I know there was parts about it I liked.
Yeah. I think that would make a good double feature. Melting people, throw society in there, get a real messed up night going. This movie is this movie seemed a lot like Ralph Bakshi wrote it. It's a similar feel. Like Bakshi in his cartoons always has like bums just fucking. There's a lot of shitty people. Everybody's shitty in this movie. It's just terrible people. Every character. The movie is really bad, but it's done in a cool style. That's what I like about it a lot. I give it a lot of points for how cool it is. And the scumminess of the streets, it's just, there's something about it I like. There's a lot of problematic rapey content. But what 80s movie didn't have a little bit of that? You can't expect a movie called Street Trash to be politically correct, really. The movie's too long, no matter how you feel about it. If you like this movie, you still have to say it's too long. They could cut the entire there's a severed penis sequence. They could remove that entirely from the movie. And also the grocery store scene. Yeah.
It did go on for a while, too.
For a really long time. And there's a grocery store scene that this guy's just sticking chicken down his pants and stuff. That took a long time, too. They could have cut that out and really trimmed this baby up. It cost them $500 to do that, just the grocery store scene. They could have saved money. There's some sort of hitman character also at one point that I don't know if the budget wouldn't allow him to look like a intimidating hitman, but he's wearing they dress him up like he owns a magic shop or something. He's got like this suit on that's just fucking crazy. I could watch this. There's a cop. I could watch him in anything. He can solve anything with a fist fight. He's that kind of guy. He plays by his own rules. He's like a shitty Richard Dean.
Does he wear a light blue blazer?
Yeah, tucked into his jeans.
A cop.
Yeah,
he has a badge, right?
Yeah. He's like a shitty Richard Dean Anderson, like a MacGyver. He looked like MacGyver.
They didn't even have the budget to get him a uniform.
No. He gets stabbed in the back at one point. Takes it like a fucking champ, right in the spine. Then he overhead body slams a woman like the hero that he really is. Of course, then he gets killed by the maniac. This maniac called Bronson, who is just this... I don't know what his mission was. I don't know what he was up to. He was like the leader of the bums. The funniest thing I read in the trivia was that the actor that played him, Vic Noto...
Don't ask me. This is your movie.
The funniest thing I read was that this Vic Noto guy that plays Bronson was cast the day before they got principal photography, like less than 12 hours, and he didn't know... This is a quote from him. "I didn't know what the hell I was doing, nor did I ever understand who Bronson was. I did scene by scene, not knowing what the movie was about. I didn't read the script until 3 months after I was wrapped. I still don't know who Bronson was." So that's the kind of character we're dealing with here. That being said, an enjoyable, insane person. I liked that character as like the antagonist. He was pointlessly the antagonist. I give this movie a 7 out of 10. I enjoy so many things about it, and there's only a few negatives for me. Cut about 20 minutes off of it, and he got an 8. But that's my opinion on it.
It is a little slow. It's a little boring. Like, there's a lot of just nothing that goes on for a long period of time. Lots of rape and sex scenes. The one that stood out to me when they take her inside that pile of tires and these, what are they, just homeless people, just bums, crazy bums.
The fucked up thing I read about
start pulling tires away, reach in and grab her and pull her. Like,
that actress had previously had some sort of mugging situation
in real life
prior to the movie, and it brought back like PTSD.
Probably. That was a good scene. I liked that one.
It was crazy.
It also gets points for a full body explosion.
Oh yeah.
That was a good scene. I appreciate the practical effects in this. I just wish it would, like, I understand they got blue paint and stuff.
Yeah.
Instead of blood when you make when you drink the Viper or whatever it's called. And then the other people that just get killed, that's where you get a little bit of the blood and gore. But I wish they would have just done blood and gore throughout.
Right.
It is
you can
different.
add some black to it. It
is different, and it also kind of fits the stupid tone of this movie.
Right.
So I guess I get it. The body melting looks good. that I enjoyed it. That's what made me want to actually go back and watch Body Melt and see how it compared to that movie. Because that seems to get a lot more
praise. Yeah.
Yeah, you just hear people talking about that one. There's some good kills in this movie. I liked it better than I thought, but it's still a little outside of what I want in a horror movie.
Yeah.
I gave it a 4.
That's respectable.
It was all right. Like, this movie was way easier to watch than one of your other selections we're going to talk about.
Yeah, we'll save that one for a little bit later. Let's move into Hobo with a Shotgun from 2011, also known as The Avenger, The Beggar with a Shotgun, Homeless with a Rifle, A Tramp with a Shotgun, and Shotgun Homeless. Summary: a homeless vigilante blows away crooked blows away crooked cops, pedophile Santas, and other scumbags with his trusty pump-action shotgun. Directed by Jason Eisner, who did Treevenge. Have you ever seen that?
Yes,
I have. Short. He was also featured in the ABCs of Death and VHS 2.
Yes, I have.
Written by John Davies, who wrote the original fake trailer from the Grindhouse double feature. What do you have? Do you have anything?
I don't have notes on
this one. Cast highlights for this film: Rutger Hauer as the Hobo, Rob Wells, who anybody who knows Trailer Park Boys, he's Ricky from Trailer Park Boys. He plays Logan. Gregory Smith, who you may remember from Small Soldiers. He's the boy in Small Soldiers. He plays Slick, one of the most despicable characters.
The toy soldier.
What is that?
Step by step, heart to heart.
Oh my god. What is happening? We went into fucking R&B 90s.
That's a good song.
Well, welcome to 90s R&B talk.
I don't know who it is, but it's a good song.
Oh, fuck. The first thing I noticed about this movie was the way it was colored. Evidently, it was digitally post-processed to make it look highly saturated with shifted colors. Rob Wells could be in a million movies, and I would always think he's Ricky. Like, he comes on, he's getting pulled by his neck. Or what's going on? He's got something around it. He's got a dumpster lid around his neck. Or not a dumpster lid, a fucking
sewer lid.
Manhole cover.
Yeah.
Around his... I'm stupid. A manhole cover around his head. And they drop him down in a sewer and pop his head off. That's a great way to start a movie. It sets the tone perfectly. They don't really make movies like this very often, like an exploitation type
Don't they run over it with a car?
Pull his head off. They wrap...
oh, that's right.
They drive off
with it.
It's like their move or something. I don't know. The Hobo, Rutger Hauer, R.I.P. by the way, is fucking awesome. He has lines... He says, put your knife away, kid, or I'll use it to cut welfare checks from your rotten skin. What? Yeah, he said, this is the whole, I wrote this whole transaction. He says that and then slips.
Here we go, more reading.
Hey, man.
Go ahead.
I want to bring it up.
I need you to remind me of this movie, guy.
He says, put the knife away, kid, or I'll use it to cut welfare checks from your rotten skin. Slick says, well, you better cut one to Mother Teresa so you can give it to her while she's finger banging you in hell. And then Rutger Hauer, yeah, he doesn't say anything else.
It is all over the top.
Fucking ridiculous. Rutger Hauer is a hell of an actor. I love how this guy just wants to buy a mower and become a better person. He just wants
trying to get
he
going.
wants to get going. He can't.
He
He's
can
got
make
to
money.
eat glass. He's got to chew glass up to get money.
I remember that.
I liked that they had a character. It's weird that they had a character based on the Bum Fights guy, because Bum Fights was a long time before. Do you remember that shit?
Yeah, their video.
Unique music choices. I liked all the music choices. Great sound design in general. A lot of badass lines of dialogue. Awesome oversaturated gore sequences. Just a great presentation overall, I think. The villains in this movie are really fucking evil villains. They burn a bus full of children. They're constantly killing people. doing wild amounts of cocaine, honestly wasting a lot of cocaine also because they're just pouring it like people poured fucking vodka in that last movie. Ugh.
They just totally just like throw a big bag of coke down and
just bite it and fucking. Yeah, they're wild with that shit. These people, and it kind of reminded me of like Ninja Turtles when they when they're recruiting the foot gang and they're like, or foot, what is it, Foot Clan?
Foot Clan.
Foot gang. The Hobo is so great. I laughed out loud when he says, "You're crushing my smokes." Whenever he's like looking right in the face of death. Yeah. Spoiler alert: when the main villain Drake shoves the Hobo's hooker sidekick's arm into a rotating mower blade, it gave me 2 back-to-back reactions. I cringed because the effect was so awesome. First, but then she used this jagged piece of her arm to stab Drake a bunch of times, and I was just like, "That's awesome!" Like the effect is gross.
It's really over the top.
And also the song at the end. Did you hear the "Run With Us"?
Give it to me.
When darkness falls, leaving shadows in the night, don't be afraid. Wipe that fear from your eyes. The desperate love keeps on driving you wrong. Don't be afraid. You're not alone.
I can't say that. But I liked it so much that I looked it up, and it evidently used to be a theme song for a cartoon in Canada called Raccoons. So that's a weird fucking pull. Why would you pull an old Canadian cartoon theme? It works.
Grew up with it.
It works.
Someone grew up with it.
For me, this is a perfect movie. This is a 10. I can't not give it a 10. I got to. It's great.
Well, I forgot to take notes on this, write anything down.
How'd you feel when you watched it?
I don't even remember. See, so maybe that speaks to it.
Oh no.
No, but I remember liking it more than what I thought I was going to like. I liked his character. I liked a lot of characters in it. I have no idea even what to give it. I think it's probably middle of the road. Again, it's stretching it outside of my limits a little bit.
I would say you would probably feel the same way you felt about Machete.
Yeah, well, yeah, because this is like a grindhouse.
Yeah, it's like the same. You could put them together.
I think it's middle of the road. I'm guessing I'm running out of 5 or something.
There you go.
But I'm sorry, Frank. That's how it rolls.
I'm not the only person that loves this movie.
Approves.
A lot of people really.
I wouldn't recommend this movie. I wouldn't. There's a million other movies that I would recommend before this one. So,
well, let's get into one I know you don't recommend: Poultrygeist, Night of the Chicken Dead, from 2006.
Spoiler alert. It's a 1. I give it a 1. I don't have notes on this one.
Oh yeah,
I didn't like it. I didn't finish it. Well,
yeah.
I might have went back and finished it, but I was time crunched and I didn't have time. But
this is
I watched 45 minutes of.
It's an hour and 40 some minutes.
Yeah, I got around 45 minutes.
I was telling you, man, you got to where the good shit starts popping off. I'll tell you about it.
No,
but
I saw everything I needed to see, and it wasn't getting any better than that.
Oh, it does.
I saw enough.
It's like one of those slow build movies.
How does it get better?
Except for it doesn't. They stop singing.
That's not the only problem I have.
And
with
then
this.
it becomes like a completely different movie. I'll tell you about it.
I like the fat dude shitting all over the bathroom.
Yeah.
I was laughing.
Yeah.
I was laughing out loud. That was a good scene. That was funny. But it's like it was nonstop, just stupid stuff. I can only.
Right.
45 minutes was good enough. I got it. I don't like it.
Summary for this film: zombified chickens attempt to kill the fast food workers that cook them in a restaurant built on an ancient burial ground. directed by Lloyd Kaufman, written by Gabriel Friedman, who did Citizen Toxie, The Toxic Avenger 4, and also written by Dan Bova and Lloyd Kaufman.
I like Toxie.
Did you? You didn't have notes for this one either.
Nope.
Why
It
don't
doesn't
you?
deserve it either.
I'm gonna change the battery in this camera real quick,
All right.
and I want you to just tell. I want you to describe the opening scene
Jesus.
for this movie, if you can.
The opening scene.
The opening scene in the graveyard. Do you remember that in the graveyard?
Get me going a little bit.
There are main
Oh,
character.
they're
Arby.
yeah. The hands out of the ground.
You're
and all-
right.
They start rubbing on them and stuff.
There's a groundskeeper there that's jerking off, I believe.
Oh yeah.
And then
Yep, it's out there.
and
It.
Arby, a zombie finger breaks off in his ass,
butt.
and he thinks it's a butt plug.
And he keeps this. He wears it around his neck throughout the movie. What do you want me to? What do you want me to say about it?
I just would love to hear you talk.
I thought it was funny. I laughed at that part when a guy and a girl's in a cemetery getting ready to have sex, and these hands are popping up out of the ground, and they're rubbing them. She's like, "Oh, your hands feel like they're all." It was funny. It was hilarious. I laughed. I told Ann, and Ann started to watch this.
Oh,
movie.
no.
We watched 45 minutes of this together.
I feel bad for her.
I don't know how many times I said like, "Damn it, Frank," and she was, I mean, just disgusted by it.
Did she comment? What was the comment that you can pull?
I don't know.
Okay, well, that was fun. I just really wanted to hear you try to describe what happens at the beginning.
Yeah,
They started out right with some of the most bizarre trauma nonsense that I've ever seen in a movie. Personally, I think the humor in this movie is some of the funniest shit they've ever done.
I laughed a lot. I'll give it that.
It's got some good writing, I think. There's always dumb shit that happens in the background too. Like if you pay attention, this is one of those movies that always has like, is that a fucking, like there'll be something just completely racist in the background or something. There's a lot of racism in this movie. I'll be honest. It's a very offensive movie in many degrees.
It offends everyone, so no one's pinpointed or singled out.
The songs could be completely removed as
They're
far
awful.
as I'm concerned.
Those are awful.
They're not in
And
key.
they were so long.
Yeah, they are.
Each song
But,
was
like
like
I said,
5 minutes long.
Once you get to the hour mark,
I understand.
there's no more songs except for the Poultrygeist song that is like just part of the score. I actually think this took a long time for them to make because I remember submitting lyrics to Troma's website for this movie.
I think I remember seeing.
And
But
I think I remember it being when I was in high school.
Oh.
I thought I remember doing it, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I just was doing it as an adult person. Honestly, high school seems like it was 5 years ago to me. So.
What year did this movie come out?
2006.
Well, yeah, you were out of high school.
Yeah, I know. That's weird though.
You mean they?
Like my memory is that I
Took
was
that
sitting in the
long?
library. Yeah, my memory was I was sitting in the library and I pulled up Troma's website, and I was just looking at it. But I may be completely wrong. It was definitely on an old ass computer.
Mrs. Tudor's library?
Yeah, Mrs. Tutti Frutti.
Go out. You go see Mr. Fish.
Fun fact: this movie made national news in 2011 because a guy in California ordered a DVD cleaning kit from he didn't. He bought it from a retailer. To later discover that it was this movie. It was not marked. He said it was horrifying, and he called it a triple X-rated movie, which it does kick you right in the ass right out of the beginning with that graveyard scene. There's a dude pulling his dick, and
That's what I'm saying. I know within the
Yeah.
first 45 minutes, I ain't gonna like this movie. Nothing they do at the
Yeah.
hour mark. And why should I need to wait? I don't need to wait an hour.
no, that's what I'm saying. They could, but most of the stuff. Think about how much time those songs took up. Which one of the segments I have a highlight on. a little note I wrote about one of the segments. But there's a cameo by Ron Jeremy. Did you enjoy that? That was a fun moment.
I asked Ann. She knew who it was.
Did you know?
She said porn star. I said,
It was nice to see the fat dude in the bathroom again. His name's Drew Flyshaker. He's kind of like a Troma staple. He's in the Toxic Avenger. He's in some movie.
I really just remember the bathroom scene.
Yeah, there's a lot of scenes from Troma's history that he's died in. I guess they like to blow him up, but he died in 2016. So that's this might be his last movie. I don't know what he was in after this.
It means something.
This film reminds me of like the shitty, tasteless comedies I used to rent on VHS. It just reminds me of shit I used to rent at Bennett's in Kenton. The Fast Food Love song. They sing this song called Fast Food Love. It's in this girl's bedroom, and she has Troma posters because she's evidently into that shit. But
we've talked about this movie for way too long.
No, we're getting to the good part. There's this actress in this scene. Now, I don't want to say she carries the film. She may not. She doesn't have any lines. She kind of steals the show, though, in her own way.
In what way?
She's endowed with amazing talents.
What talent?
Big talents. The only song I find mildly amusing is the one with Lloyd Kaufman, just because I like him so much. And I think it's ridiculous that like a 60-year-old dude's showing his ass dancing around in a skirt.
Tutu, wasn't it?
It was like a Girl Scout skirt, kind of.
Oh.
They were both wearing them. He was supposed to be him from the future. Did you know that?
Girl.
Did you know that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Jesus, they were the same person.
Yeah. He reveals it later.
I understand.
He reveals it at the end of the movie.
Still didn't like it.
This is the second movie we watched this month that has a severed penis scene. Did you catch that scene? Were you involved with that? Where, what happens exactly? Oh, they grind that guy up.
A lot of penis scenes lately.
Yeah.
You watch Preacher?
No.
Oh.
Is there a penis scene?
This last episode.
If you like penis scenes. This one has a lot, though. There's the guy that gets ground up into Sloppy Jose.
Sloppy Jose, that's funny.
And
I'll never call him Sloppy Jose.
I like to call him
Sloppy Jose from here
I like
on.
Untidy Josephs. Gonna make some Untidy Josephs this evening. It's kind of a fancier way. But there's also, did you stick around long enough to see the guy get the mop shoved up his ass and pop his dick off? His dick was on the end of it, and he was happy about it. He's like, look at this. Yeah.
Missed it.
Yeah, you must have cut it out. That must be right about the time.
If I just stuck around, I could have saw it.
What's the last thing you remember seeing?
Jesus. I don't know.
I don't want to talk about it anymore.
I don't know. I don't know.
I would say that
the kid in the wheelchair sticks out to me.
No, yeah. He becomes a zombie chicken at the end, yeah.
The zombie scene, or the bathroom scene. Lesbians making out.
Yeah. They could have cut all that shit out. Everything leading up, where you stopped, they could have started the movie there, and it would have been great. I'm going to make my own cut of Poultrygeist. I would say, the traditional, you could never make this today, even though it wasn't made that long ago. But I think Troma still makes. I think they just probably released one last week or something. I don't think they've ever stopped.
Probably.
The last half of this movie is complete insanity and gore. That's why I said you should stick around, because it's like a zombie chicken attack. Everybody has these beaks, and there's so much gore. It's
Maybe I'll
like,
go back and watch it fast forward.
Just watch this. It's playing right now. It's happening right now. Because they don't give a fuck. This is all over.
All right.
But the last half, it's just crazy. It's insanity.
Watch all of this.
It's happening. It's happening, right? It's right here. Yeah. Whoa, whoa. I'm a fucking idiot. But there's all this crazy shit, and the thing that is the cherry on top at the end is they put that car flip. Have you know this? The car flip that Troma always uses. They used it in Toxic Avenger. It's just this car flipping over and blowing up. They use it in all their movies. It's
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There's very few Troma. Probably under 10 that I like.
I can understand it. That's probably honestly. I don't know how many
stuff.
I like.
Early stuff I like.
There's
new stuff I don't.
There's some. Well, they just released a new. I haven't seen it yet. Nukem High movie that I want to watch. But yeah, I haven't watched a new one. But like Troma's War.
How many of those are there?
There's 4 originals, I think, and then
matter.
There's 4 originals, and then there's Return to Nukem High. Part 1's out. I don't know if Part 2's out.
I don't know.
I'm kind of out of the loop. I'm sitting on Troma movies I haven't even watched yet. But what did I give it a score? 8 out of 10. That's what I think.
I'm going to give it a 2 because it's a better movie than The Oregonian.
There are so many that are better than that.
This is a 2.
Let's move into the showpiece of this episode, Puppet Master, 1989. Been a while since I watched this. I bought the set a while back. I didn't even watch this in my DVD. I watched it on whatever with Elvira's bullshit thrown in it. This Puppet Master is also known as Death Dolls, The Puppeteer, Killer Dolls, The Devil's Toymaker, and Revenge of the Dolls. Summary for this film: psychics find themselves plotted against by a former colleague who committed suicide after discovering animated murderous puppets. Director David Schmoller, who did Tourist Trap and 2018's Puppet Master Blitzkrieg Massacre. Written by Charles Band, Kenneth J. Hall, David Schmoller, and J.S. Cardone.
Tagline: Killers come in all sizes. Distributed by Full Moon and Paramount, and out on Blu-ray through Full Moon.
The theme to this movie is one of my favorite horror themes.
Music?
Yeah. It's really good. IMDb states that much of the soundtrack is actually just synthesizer arrangements of music from Tourist Trap. Which I'm gonna have to go back and check that out. Cast highlights for this movie: William Hickey as Andre Toulon. You'll recognize him as Grandpa Lewis from Christmas Vacation. He also voiced the evil scientist on Nightmare Before Christmas. He was in the Tales from the Dark Side movie. Barbara Crampton's in this. She plays a woman at the carnival. You know what she's in: Shopping Mall, Reanimator,
everything,
From Beyond, all that stuff. People would notice these puppets.
A great woman.
This is my main statement on Puppet Master. People would notice them. They aren't small enough to run around in public areas without people going, "What the fuck was that?" They're bigger than a squirrel. And I noticed squirrels out of the sideway.
Squirrel. Yeah, I'm all familiar with squirrel.
You just had a squirrel experience.
Jesus.
Do you want to talk about that?
I got a little bit of video. Maybe I can send you a little bit of video.
Tell the people what happened to you with the squirrel.
So my fireplace is shut off, sealed up because we rent. Anyway, so there's like 3 inches of insulation in there.
Right.
And so we've heard this thing for like 2 days.
Yeah.
And usually it might be like a mouse or something gets in there and it finds its way out. This thing sounded much bigger than that. So I was like, well, what the heck? 'Cause after 2, like I don't want it to die. And it's gonna start stinking.
Right.
So I busted open the insulation and we had it like funneled off to this door. We had like a pathway. Sure enough, this thing comes out, and that's not even the. I found a bird skeleton in there.
Oh my god!
This was a big bird. Like it wasn't like an everyday
right.
robin or something. Like this thing had
like a pigeon or something.
Like, oh, I don't know. Could be a
Maybe a
pigeon,
dove.
a seagull. I don't know.
A seagull.
I told him.
That's way bigger.
Like, I was looking at pictures of birds in Ohio, and none of them.
Did you pull? Was it
All
like a
right.
turkey?
It was. Its body was about like this,
What?
and it had a long, rounded beak. And I can't find. I said this is either a baby.
Vulture?
What did I say? A baby. Not a swan.
Goose?
Crane. I
A
said
cane
either
and a
this
goose?
is a baby crane or a duck, and it isn't even about the size of a duck. What would a duck be doing in my? Anyway, so the squirrel went out. The bird carcasses around here.
It would have had to have been way before you would have smelled a duck right
Yeah, I
away.
never smelled anything. I don't know how long it was there. It was just, I mean, it was all gone. Anyway, where are we at?
I don't know. I was into that.
I think I got some video.
Yeah, I was saying people would notice these puppets. One of these Nazis. These guys are Nazis at the beginning. That's why I never knew that there was a Nazi thing. Cause
Yeah, I remember you asking if there was the German.
Yeah, we watched the
tie-in.
recent one, and I was like, I don't remember anything about fucking Nazis.
Reich. What? That was a good movie.
But
wasn't
now
it?
that I look at the titles of some of the other ones, there's some Nazi type. You know, I've seen some. Yeah, there's Nazi shit. I just wasn't aware. Yeah, did you watch the Elvira version, or did you go
I did.
the whole way through?
I did.
Did you like how they inserted her into?
So, well, here, yeah, what was it? 13 Nights of Elvira.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, she still looks good, don't she?
Yeah, that's amazing.
Her teeth looks a little bit old, but the rest of her.
Yeah, they might be fake. I'll be honest. Who knows?
I don't know.
They might be veneers. A nice veneer.
But yeah, she keeps popping up.
Yeah. Random times.
Some of the stuff she said was actually kind of funny, but other
Right.
times I was like, get off my screen! Like, quit. And she would pop up over top their dialogue,
Yeah.
so you'd miss a couple words of what they were saying. It was all right. Some of the stuff was funny. But
During the slower parts, it was all right. Let me see. I'll always like this movie a lot. It's not as good as the later Puppet Master movies because it's not about the puppets as much.
movies? Oh yeah, no. This is interesting.
The other ones are way more fun, if I recall. And you don't even see my favorite Puppet Master puppet is Six Shooter, and you don't even see him until fucking 3 or something.
I think I like Torch.
Yeah, he's
His
good
name?
too. Yeah,
Well, that's part 2.
I'm not
2 and
sure.
3 is better. I would think I remember liking 2 and 3 better than this one.
I think my go-to was always 4 for some reason, but I don't remember why. Like I said, I've got the set and I haven't watched them yet. I'm sitting on all this shit, mainly because I got kids running around. I don't know which one's appropriate and which one's not. It seems like they always throw porno in the middle of Puppet Master movies. This one, like, completely do not remember. I do not remember psychics. I do not remember. There's barely any puppet shit. There's like 12 minutes of puppets.
Yeah.
A lot of it's these psychics in their fucking dreams.
And learning whoever this, what's his name?
Toulon?
No.
Oh, the other guy.
Guyver. Or
This is my
something
problem
like-
with it. The puppets seemed friendly at the beginning, right?
Yeah, 'cause, with or Toulon, he said they
Right.
were harmless.
So this assholes made them bad.
Right. Now they're just
Okay. Because they almost seemed, at the beginning of the movie, they almost seemed like those
Yeah,
fucking...
he said with me they're harmless, but I fear what
Oh, yeah.
they'll do with someone
The
else.
thing that bothers me is I don't know shit about Toulon. But you know what I do know a lot about? These goddamn psychics.
That was a good headshot scene too.
Yeah, that was good.
He takes a bullet to the brain. That looks good.
The whole time I kept asking, who the fuck gives a shit about these psychics? I came for murderous puppets. I know all these psychic specialties, but I couldn't tell you shit about Toulon, his puppets, or even the psychic that's dead in the casket, or dead, or alleged, whatever. Allegedly dead.
It's about the.
This
It's
psychic.
not about
and-
the play. Yeah, it's about the psychics. But I don't give a crap
No.
about any of the
No.
psychics.
Puppets. Puppet Master. I guess it technically is about the Puppet Master. It's not about the puppets. If it was about the puppets, they could just call it puppets.
But they kill the puppet master. first 5 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
Like, I would have loved to see him.
Well, the new puppet master gets killed at the end. That psychic.
I like that guy, whatever his name is.
I did not write it down.
He's in some other stuff. I like him.
The first puppet kill you see is Pinhead smash a woman with a fire poker around the 40-minute mark. That's where you get your first real taste of some puppet action.
It's a little slow. It's a little slow.
Because you learn about these psychics. You got to get all that information about the psychics.
I don't like any of them.
No.
Kill them all. The puppet should have had a buffet. It should have been a gore fest.
What'd you think about how they did the puppets whenever they
liked it. Stop
it
motion.
looked good.
Yeah.
I thought it looked surprisingly good comparing, that to Basket Case.
I like the way the puppets look themselves.
Yeah.
I like the stop motion.
They
The
did
best
a
part
good
about
job.
movies is the puppets.
Funny thing about Pinhead is that when it shows the human hands, they used a midget. Is that the right term? I don't know. A small person, a little person. That sounds more demeaning to me to say little person.
It's small.
Whatever. For those scenes, I dig all the puppets except for Leech Girl. Just stupid.
Really? No.
Just stupid.
I liked her.
It's a non-lethal puppet. How many leeches would it take to kill
That's
a man?
not the point. She's a little.
Leech me up, bitch. Leech me. It will do it. It takes forever.
She's a little naughty puppet. I mean, she came in and
It would
was
take
being all nice at
forever.
first.
Yeah, it would take forever though
What
for
would
her.
you do if that crawled up on your bed? And
Oh no!
kissing on your nipple a little bit. I mean, are you gonna stop her?
Yeah, probably because I've seen Puppet Master. I know what's up for me.
I don't know.
all
Then she
the-
spits out those leeches.
It's like she's barfing up like a penguin barfing up.
Elvira pops up on my screen with one hanging out of her.
Oh
mouth.
yeah.
I don't know how many times I hit. Get off my screen.
Thank you, but go away.
Watch this movie, Elvira.
Elvira, you crazy girl. All the nonsense with the psychics and their various nightmares, I had totally forgotten about since the last time I watched this movie.
There's a reason.
It makes you seem like you're watching two separate horror movies at the same time. One is about killer puppets, and
The other one you're trying to figure out.
the other one's a supernatural psychic ghost story. It seems like. I love movies that take place in big hotels or apartment buildings. I think that they made that the one we watched, the newer one. It seemed like the same place, so I don't know if they used the same hotel or not. I think a lot of the Puppet Master movies happen in this hotel, but I'm not sure. I might be wrong. Maybe they take place in space.
Maybe it's supposed to be.
I don't know. But this movie has a similar feel to like Demons 2. It's a big apartment complex in that movie. Critters 3 is a big apartment. It's just big spaces. Lots of places to go. So many hilarious punching and kicking sounds at the end. These guys are really fucking... They're biffing each other. Like... it's a punch fest, man. The end is a bunch of punching. These guys are really punching it out. Good stuff. I read on IMDb that they had to make the blood green. Do you remember that at the end?
Yep.
Because they
His
were
fingers cut off, right?
yeah they were looking at maybe getting an X rating. I don't see how that's possible. Nothing was that bad in this movie at all. Except there was some like Showtime type nudity in it, though.
That one psychic, man,
That's all she wanted to do. I think that they
she's picked up on everything else.
I think that they paid her to like rub her legs a lot. I'm like, hey, while you're laying in that bed, why don't you rub your legs a little bit? Just get like you really like your legs a lot. And then when she's in the
Someone had a
tub,
leg fetish.
when she's in the tub, yeah, go ahead and just rub your legs. Like you really, like that's all it was. Every time.
You know what you did last scene.
You were rubbing your legs. Do that more. I would wager that they wouldn't be so nonchalant about surviving such a crazy night. At the end, they're just like, "All right, well, see you later. Well, we really just had a night of things. We'll go," and they just leave.
Oh, they say goodbye.
Yeah. Well, had quite a night. We'll see you later.
They hugged.
You just fought puppets that came alive and like supernatural shit.
You marry that person, right?
Yeah, I think you have to.
You go through with something like that.
Yeah,
Like,
they split up. They're not, and then the weirdest thing happens. The dog. Wow, there's a dog that's like stuffed dog through the whole movie, and then it comes to life, and I don't know why. But
it's her power. She got a power.
Is that the?
Maybe she gets the power. The Toulon.
I don't know. Maybe she's the new puppet master. I don't know.
I don't remember 2 and 3, but I do remember liking it better than this.
I think this is my least favorite of the franchise. I think they get better the more they focus on the puppets, and I think it's shit. I'll bet you Puppet Master versus Demonic Toys is a fucking 10 for me. It's got Corey Feldman in it.
I might have to watch all of these.
Yeah. Yeah, I gave this a 6 out of 10. I still like it a lot. I mean, they just had to figure the formula out. That's the way I look at it. They needed to figure it out.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen it. Watched it with Elvira. This has nothing to do with Halloween, but this movie it makes me feel like it's Halloween.
It's a good Halloween movie.
It was always on TV. I watched this like every Halloween season when they started playing horror
Halloween
movies.
colors, man. The carpet in that play, everything's Halloween colors.
Yeah. I probably recorded this movie 5 times growing up.
Yeah, I think Sci-Fi Channel used to play it like
all the
all of
TNT,
them. I remember back to back.
I think they all played them. USA.
Up all night.
Yeah. I like the way the puppets look. I like the stop motion. And the puppet POV shot too. I like that. The opening scene, him just running around the outside.
Yeah. That's the part where I say that somebody would have saw him, because there's a dude that
I know. I'm
looks
pretty
at
sure,
him.
Yeah, now he gets out of the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's looking.
He's like, yeah, that's a fucking little puppet guy.
Yeah, they must not want to shoot that scene.
I'm a Nazi though, so what can I say?
Jeez, right here.
Yeah.
Could use more on-screen deaths.
Oh yeah.
More blood, more practical effects. Like this could have been.
Yeah.
Tom Savini should
they
have
had
worked on this movie.
They had the dude with the drill on his head, and they didn't show you that scene.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, definitely don't know. Well, there ain't even that much nudity.
No.
I don't know how it was.
Well,
supposed to be
I don't know.
an
That
X-
one girl gets freak nasty at the one point.
An X rating. Oh yeah, she does write him.
She'd been rubbing her legs for hours.
The story's boring. The psychics. That's the focus of this movie, and the part you don't care about it. Should have been puppet driven. I think it starts 2 and the sequels after this. How many sequels are there?
My collection
count at
has 9, but they go past that. There's movies I don't have.
I do. There's a Blu-ray of 1 through 3. Like there's some big crazy collection. They're all on Blu-ray, but it's like
It like comes in like the puppet
$150,
box,
yeah,
doesn't it?
Yeah, I ain't gonna pay that.
No, you can get it on Amazon. The collection I have is probably all the good ones. I don't know, except for the new one.
I don't know Fast 3.
Yeah, and there's
can't
some
recall.
sketchy ones. Like my collection has Retro Puppet Master, which I remember being terrible.
This is good. I would like to get a good looking transfer of this one. I'm with you. I gave this one a 6.
Yeah, it's a classic to me. I mean, I've been watching this movie since I can remember watching horror movies. So
When did this come out?
89, right? Yeah, and that was probably I was 6. Or 7.
I guess I always thought this was an older movie than 89.
Shit, man. I was just saying the other day, it seems like the 90s were like 10 years ago. But they weren't. They were so long ago. Anyways, did you have picks for next episode?
I can conjure up some right
Just
here.
looking at them right now.
What you got?
I'm going to take it fairly easy on you next time. They just added Slumber Party Massacre 2 to Shudder, so I'm going to give that one a spin. I know Angela Mole has commented on that one being one of her favorites. So it looks, the cover looks, or the poster, whatever you want to call it, the imagery that they're using looks great. I don't think I've ever watched that one. And then we're going to keep on track with these Puppet Masters. We're going to do 2. You can watch that on Tubi if you like to watch along with us.
I hate that name.
And then I'm going to Netflix for a movie called 14 Cameras, which I know nothing about. So we'll see what happens there. And then on Amazon Prime, there's a movie called Blood Salvage that seemed like my kind of shit. So we'll see what that's all about.
I'm gonna do Rawhead Rex.
Ooh.
Don't Go in the House.
There you go.
Graduation Day.
Mm-hmm.
And Slaughterhouse.
There you go. So that's what we're watching next time. Thanks for listening, watching, whatever you do, whatever you say.
Whatever you do.
We'll see you next time.